Welcome back to Tiny Grimes Games, and I'm here with another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. And today I'm going to address kind of a weird question, but I get asked all kinds of times, "Hey Tiny, are you really free to play? Look, and you've got almost 8 million credits, you've got 7,500 crystals. I have my suspicions that you are not free to play." That's a fair question, so I want to address that today. First of all, let's talk about how I define free to play. To me, free to play is not a badge of honor I wear around. It's more of a realistic situation. I'm the kind of person who is not going to spend $50 on a freemium game. That is something I reserve for a AAA title that is complete. I will spend $5 or something on an efficient use of my time in a free to play game that I really enjoy and have put a lot of time into. I personally feel a bit guilty after, 1,000 hours of playtime into a free game if I haven't spent any money on it. But on the other side, like I said, I'm not going to spend money in huge chunks and piles. So the way I define free to play in this game is, anyone who spent about $20 or less in the game. Spending that much doesn't give you much in this game. You really have to spend quite a bit to be able to get a lot of advantage in the game. For me personally, I have spent $5 on the game. I think it was my 5th day in the game. I bought the Dooku pack. So what happened is, this was way back in October in the soft release period, and I'm sitting there going, I have no dark side, guys. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, I didn't even know what I was doing in this game, right? Nobody did. There were no guides. It was just a couple of people playing this brand new game that no one else was playing. And so I'm looking at them like rank 1,000 or whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this Dooku pack because it's only $5. This game seems fun. I want to support it. I do not have any idea if Count Dooku is good, will be good. I don't know anything about him. I was currently grinding at that point. Hilarious things. I think I was working on my Chewbacca and my Jedi Counselor at that point. So, but I bought my Dooku, and the funny thing about Dooku is every step of the way I've thought, well, I can't farm him very well. I'm sure he'll get replaced at some point. And he did get replaced for a brief time with my droid squad, but he's really just always been good. So I've never regretted that purchase. But so that for me is how much money I've spent on the game. I spent $5 5 days into the game back in October. If you do not want to consider me free to play, I'm totally fine with that. I think what's interesting about the free to play label is it's variable. For some people, it is if you have spent one dime on the game, you are not free to play, and they wear free to play as a badge of honor, which is cool. That's a totally fair way to play the game. For me, like I said, I'm much more about just, it's a realistic spot for me. If Capital Games put out something, let's say, who do I want right now? Let's say they said you can get Princess Leia 5 stars for $5. I would buy that, no problem. The problem is Capital Games hasn't really put out anything to address somebody like me, right? The packages are all for the higher spenders in the game. I'm not going to spend $100 on Kylo Ren. I'm not going to spend $50 on Verasafi. That's just not happening. This is not a completed AAA title. This is a fun freemium game, and for me personally, and everyone is at a different spot here, I'm willing to spend little bits of chunks spread out over wide times, but that's not really the model that's in the game now. I'm going to have a whole nother video coming up about how I would like to see some changes. Okay, so some people have asked then, how do I have all these resources? So how do I have crystals? The main reason I have so many crystals is this. I'm a hoarder when it comes to resources in these types of games. I'm always hesitant to spend resources that I cannot get back on something that doesn't give me a lot. And so when I look at the game right now, I don't see anything to spend crystals on. I'm not going to throw 2,500 crystals into random packs to get, 3-star copies of characters I can't farm and don't want. I have no interest in that. I am also not going to spend crystals on really expensive refreshes. So what I do generally is I'll spend 1 refresh in the cantina. I feel like that is an efficient use of my time. And I will spend 1 to 2 crystals of refreshes in the regular battles, depending on what I'm after. There's plenty of days where I haven't spent any refreshes because I'm just, okay, I'm grinding Rey. I'm 3 months out on finishing Rey anyway. and I just get bored that day and don't continue. And then also Squad Arena. I mean, if you look at how much you get at the top, it's kind of crazy. And so depending on where we are in a meta shift, like when the meta shifts, I'm not in the top 5. I'm generally hanging around 21 to 50 is usually where I am after a meta shift because I'm free to play. It takes me a little time to recoup. But so, for instance, the last 10 days or so, I've been 1 or 2 during the week. I slip to maybe in here 11 to 20 on the weekend because I just don't have time to be able to make my run. And that's added up really fast. I've actually picked up 2,500 crystals in like a 10-day span. And then also in the beginning, the reason why I got to 5,000, I didn't refresh at all forever. Remember, I started in October. I had no idea what I was doing, and I just saved. I was just like, okay, I don't know. I don't know what I should be spending these on. Like I said, I have a hard time spending finite resources that I cannot get back on something I don't feel like is amazing. If there was a package that gave me guys for crystals, that would be fine. If there was gear for crystals, that could work, like purple or gold gear, maybe I would spend them on, but I'm not spending 150 shards on 150 crystals on 3 Tuscan shards. I'm just not doing that. You forget to get me to spend my crystals, it's going to have to be something really great. Now, the downside, of course, is I don't have anything to spend them on, right? People always mock me. Okay, you have 7,500 crystals, Tiny Grimes. What are you trying to like look cool and have them? No, that's not it. I'm just waiting for something to spend them on, and they haven't come around yet, unfortunately. Now, why do I have so much money? Same problem. I knew the level update was going to come, so I stopped spending money. If you look, I don't even have my Jedi Counselor to 70. I use him all the time. I use him in Galactic Wars at 67. I've been moving Barriss Offee up because I started using her as a leader in Galactic War, but she was like 40 forever. Kylo Ren, I put a ton into him. He's purple gear, only 64, because gear has been less of a problem, of a bottleneck, than money has been heretofore. And going forward, I'm only going to be able to get 5, maybe 6 guys leveled up, and I knew that, so I saved every bit I could. Like Master Yoda was only 65. Basically, if you notice, getting to 60 is not that expensive, so a lot of my guys are 60. And then that's the wall for me, like Vader. I love Vader. I got him to 60 and was like, oh, I so wish I could get him higher, but he's pointless, so I'm not going to bother. So that's how I have so many resources, so many crystals, despite being, I'm going to put quotes on it, free to play. You're believe me, I will not be insulted if you say, Tiny Grimes, you're not free to play, you spent $5. That's true. I will never hide that. I spent $5. I'm totally fine with that. I will spend $5 again if an awesome $5 package comes along. Free to play is not a badge of honor for me. It is just a reflection of the amount of money I'm willing to spend on the game. And for you, it's whatever definition you want it to be. So when you see me say that I'm free to play, no problem with you thinking you're not really free to play. I get it. I understand what you're saying. No problem at all. So hopefully today there will be a big announcement, and we'll all have something really exciting to talk about. So this is just a video to sort of fill the gap while we're waiting to see what's going to be the big announcement. So hopefully I'll see you maybe even later today with another video on the announcement. So see you next time on Tiny Grimes Games.